Hey there, just wanted to make a video on the new CN comp that people are using for clearing the end game. It is a bit different than the comp they used in the start. They used to use Chiss, Hathor, Hanel, Fordia. I saw a lot of that comp being used, but they're not really using that comp anymore. I have invested some resources into Fordia and Hathor myself, which is probably gonna go to waste, but that's okay. We haven't really invested like a huge amount of resources yet. Once you get hunter level 30, that's when you really have to make sure that the characters you're investing in are the characters you're gonna play. Because at level 30, hunter level 30, the investment is huge. Like everything starts to cost so many materials. Until then, it doesn't cost too much, and it's okay if you waste a bit of resources like I did. But this is the new team comp that CN has cooked up. So let's see it. The first one is going to be Nanali, Jiuan, MC, Sekiri. I do think Sekiri can be swapped out with Hanel in this team comp if you need Sekiri for the other team comp. I do think that's possible. So let's see. It's just gonna be a standard ult rotation at the start into MCE. Jian E here, it's for the Sekiri. And then alt. I would use Jiuan alt before Jiuan E. I'm not sure why he does it this way around, but that's me personally. And then I would go into Sekiri alt and then Sekiri pull. I guess he does it this way around because he wants the Sekiri buff, but he didn't want it for the MC, which is fine. He just wanted it for G1. I think it's fine to either start with Sekiri or not. Yeah. This is just, that's gonna be pretty simple rotation for this team comp. It's nothing too crazy. You just sit on Nanali here, and then once Nanali runs out of her E, you are gonna swap back into MC, then into Julian, and then Sekiri. He swaps to Sekiri before ulting on G1 for the Sekiri attack buff, and then swapping to Nanali. So you are gonna Esper cycle from MC into G1. Let's go to the next team comp. We're just gonna keep it short and simple here. This is gonna be Chiss, Baishang, Daffodil, and Hanel. So Chiss and Hanel can Esper cycle each other, which is why they're in here. And obviously Hanel provides a really good attack buff. But if you are gonna struggle with grouping the mobs, I suggest you can swap out Hanel and Sekiri on the teams. You can swap them around, which should be fine. Then you got Baichang and Daffodil. The reason for Daffodil is she's one of the only units that can Esper cycle well with Baichang, and Baichang is a sub DPS and Chiss is a sub DPS. You're basically running two main DPSs, but using them as sub DPS. You just use the burst and then swap off. This is gonna be a very quick swap comp, which is gonna have a pretty high skill ceiling, so it is gonna be a lot harder to play than the Chiss Helper comp, but it does do quite a bit more damage from what I have seen. And there is some buy tech that is pretty crazy. It's just gonna start up with the standard Chiss rotation, alt into E's, and then once you're done, swap to Baishang. Just gonna use one skill, then get Hanel attack out, and probably Daffodil. Yeah, get Daffodil alt out, and her E, and then he's gonna go back to Baichang. And here you're gonna see something interesting. It's gonna be the animation cancel. You see here. So I will make a guide how to do this, but I will quick explain it here. You hold A or D, and then you hold left mouse button down. And then once he flips, you instantly dodge to cancel the animation. And that way you can spam attacks like this. I will get by on one of my two selectors, most likely. I just have a few more standard pulls I want to do before I use a selector. And I'm gonna make a guide on this as well. If any people are gonna struggle with doing it. But yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty quick swap comp heavy. One thing you are gonna notice is when you get a perfect dodge, you want to let the knee kick go off. You see he lets it go off here. The damage pop-ups 2k. It's pretty good damage from the perfect dodge attack, so you wanna let that go off before you dodge. And then it's just back to quick swapping. He's basically just swapping in, dumping his rotation, and then swapping out, making sure he has 100% uptime on Nanali. Make sure he gets in some chest damage for the E's to stack her ult up when she's off field. But as you can see, the biggest issue is here is grouping the mobs, which is why I suggest you can probably swap Hanel out with Sakiri and put Hanel on the other team. It should be fine to do that. That is, I am gonna maybe make a build guide for people, but after level 30, because I think the in-game build guide is everything you need. You don't really need anything else. And I recommend people to use the in-game build guide for everything you need for building characters. You unlock it at Hunter level 30. I will show it off when I get Hunter level 30, which is gonna be probably tomorrow or the day after. And that's basically gonna be all you need. So when Hotori, Lacrimosa, when new characters come out, you can just look at the build guide and you know what to build for them. You don't have to go look it up on third-party websites or anything. So I'll go over that in another video. If there's any other guides that you need or can't find from other creators, make sure to let me know in the comments and I will try to make a guide for it, do some testing, figure out the best way to do things, and then I will put out a guide for it. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time and enjoy NTE.